Right now, let's get down to business. We begin with 1-minute opening remarks from each of our candidates. The order was determined by a drawing. Up first is Ken Block. He is the founder of the Moderate Party, a business owner and software engineer who lives in Barrington. He's a first-time candidate. Mr. Block, your opening remarks.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. My name is Ken Block. I am the Moderate Party candidate for governor. I got pushed into politics for a very simple reason. I got completely frustrated with the utter failure on the part of our elected officials to fix the problems that most Rhode Islanders care about. We want quality education for our children, and we want a strong economy. We need jobs, and we need people paying taxes into the system so we can fund all the social services programs that we most care about. And we've had an utter lack of failure on the part of our elected politicians to make that happen. And I'm running because I have clarity of vision, I have the follow-through, and I have the specific plans necessary to fix the problems that we have in our state. The solution hasn't come from our recycled politicians. The solution doesn't sit within the Democratic Party. The solution doesn't sit within the Republican Party. The solution has to be the person who has the best ideas to get the job done, and I respectfully submit to you that I am that person. Sam and Anna, nice to see you. Please have a good night's sleep. My 2 kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Block. Now we'll hear from Frank Caprio, a Democrat from Providence, serving as the state's general treasurer since 2007. Before that, he served 17 years in the Rhode Island General Assembly. Mr. Caprio, your opening remarks.
Hello, I'm Frank Caprio, and I want to turn the state's economy around. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I know you may be working longer and harder for less in your job, and I know it may be very uncertain whether you can keep your job. Or if you don't have a job, I know how tough it is to find one in this climate. And that's why over the last year, I've met with over 1,000 small businesses, and I've listened to them. I wanted their ideas of how we could turn this economy around. And after listening to those businesses, I put together a small business plan, listening to those hardworking people, and the business plan contains 3 big items. First, we're going to have targeted tax incentives for companies so they can add jobs. We're going to cut out the red tape in government, getting the state out of the way and out of the pockets of our small businesses. And we're going to make sure they have the credit so they can expand and grow. You know, our state has 35,000 small businesses. And if each of those small businesses, on average, over the next 4 years can add 1 job, we'll cut our unemployment rate in half. Together, we're going to bring this state back.
Thank you, Mr. Caprio. Lincoln Chafee is running for governor as an independent candidate. Former Republican, he was U.S. Senator and former mayor of Warwick, where he currently lives. He's also a former fellow at Brown University. Mr. Chafee, your opening remarks.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Channel 12. And thank you, Roger Williams University, and all the viewers tuning in. As Mike opened the debate, he said we have difficult challenges ahead. And how are we going to turn it around? My view is we have to address the ABCs. And the A's take our assets. What do we have in this state that separates us from other states and make them work better for us? Whether it's the Knowledge District in downtown, the new Station District in my home city of Warwick, the tourism and defense industries in the Quidneck Island, or the historic Blackstone River Valley. These are our assets. The budget, the B, is our budget. We have to have an honest budget. Companies aren't going to come to Rhode Island if we have persistent deficits. And the C is cronyism and corruption. We'll never grow our economy in this state until we remove the shadow of cronyism and corruption. That's a fact. Companies aren't going to come to Rhode Island when they see the shenanigans going on in this state. We have to remove that shadow.
Thank you, Mr. Chafee. Now Republican John Robitaille. He's a former communications advisor for the governor. He ran a small business for 20 years and served as an Army captain. The Portsmouth resident has never held a major political office, but ran for a General Assembly seat back in 2006. Mr. Robitaille, your opening remarks.
Good evening. I'm John Robitaille. I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather to 5 grandchildren. I was born in Central Falls. I went to Providence College, and I'm a veteran. I came back to Rhode Island to start a small business, and I ran that small business for over 20 years. I know what small business owners deal with every single day. I was one. Rhode Island's not a very business-friendly state, and when I'm governor, I pledge to change that. We're facing some of the most difficult economic times this country has ever seen and this state has ever seen. We're going to need a governor who can make tough decisions and take the heat. My plan is pretty simple. We need to cut spending in this state. We spend too much money. So we can lower taxes. And as we lower taxes, it'll allow individuals to have more disposable income at their ready.